I promised myself that I would stop making videos based on Skyrim. Yeah. You know what it is? Fucking cold. So I thought I already laid to rest what I had to say about Skyrim. Clearly I like it a lot, but yet here I am, weeks after its release, weeks after having it, I'm still playing it and I still can't help but talk about it. But it goes a little deeper than that. I'm playing Skyrim in a way that I haven't before, and that is with a very distinct sort of self-awareness of how I am living in Skyrim. But what I've found is that how I live in Skyrim is not just mimicking how I live in real life, but in a weird way, influencing it. So as the saying goes, something along the lines of art mimics life and life mimics art and vice versa. I mean, of course that applies in all mediums, but it applies to video games in a weirder way, because unlike looking at someone's art, which has been influenced by life, and then seeing how life is influenced by the art that someone has created, video games are art influenced by life, but then we make decisions within the art that is made, and then it mimics our lives. I think I'm getting a little too deep. But, you know, reflecting on my past adventures in Skyrim, it's kind of bringing to my attention some of the things I want most out of my life. And frankly, it's hard to see where the lines are blurred. Of course, all of us want a companion in life, may it be a cat or a dog. And in this case, I have good old Garjo, whom I have made my trusty and loyal servant, partner, friend, one of those. But I think that stems from the fact that he too is a calico cat, similar to the two that I have, and they look so similar that I'm starting to treat them one and the same.
I will shoulder some of your burden.
And then, of course, while I'm vicariously living Skyrim as though it's my own life, I am fulfilling all my deepest needs and desires, like adopting a child.
You need something, Paul? But I don't want to. Ouch. Hey.
But in all seriousness, when we play video games, that is an opportunity for us to live a life that we don't live. And in this case, Skyrim, clearly I'm doing things that I'm not able to do in my real life, yet some of my habits in reality still are carrying over to Skyrim. I try to have a very organized, very almost automated lifestyle where I do the same things repetitively every single day in a certain order, and therefore I don't have to think too hard about doing certain things. And in a weird, strange way, I kind of have a similar routine in Skyrim, or at least when it comes to owning things. I think it's very easy in Skyrim to get out of hand with possessions and just collecting as much shit as possible with the means of selling it or doing something with it, or, you know, collecting as many potions as possible to help you resist shock and ice and fire and all this crap in case you were just in such a specific moment that you need to use those things. Anyone who's played Skyrim or any Bethesda game of this nature, Fallout, Oblivion, what have you, it is very easy to go over the max amount of weight you're allowed to carry, in which some people then choose to just kind of upgrade their stamina so they can carry a bunch of shit at once. That's how I used to play it, but as I've developed sort of a very, I don't know how to put it, self-aware, or I guess even minimalistic view on the things I have that I own, that I carry around, I am also adapting those qualities into the game. And the same applies kind of how I choose to live in a small thing. I live in an apartment currently, and it's not massive, and I think that's okay, and I've lived in tiny apartments. And in Skyrim, I bought land just outside of Solitude where I can build my own house. It's quite easy to get out of control and build a mansion, which I ended up did, but I almost immediately regretted it, hating the amount of space that I had that just kind of felt empty and wasted. And then you kind of feel this weird obligation to fill those rooms with crap you just don't fucking need. And I kind of go back to my manor, sort of like, what is all this shit? And then I look at my adopted child that I don't even know why I have. Next thing I know, he's bringing in a fucking skeever.
Oh, hey, watch it. I'll never speak to you again.
All I'm trying to say is that there's a correlation between the two, and in some weird way, I'm having a hard time seeing the difference between reality and the game. But that brings up an interesting point. As of last night, I started reading this book, Extra Lives by Tom Bissell. It's a series of kind of essays that kind of all stem to this one statement that why video games matter. At the bigger picture, I think the book is trying to focus more on what it is, how video games matter to a specific person and thing. I think it's very easy to come into a game and kind of have this sense of escapism where you are no longer living your life, you're living vicariously through this fantasy world. But to the contrary of that, what happens when your decisions, when you actually allow your morality and your decisions to kind of leak back and forth in between the world you live in and reality? I feel like I'm going a little bit too deep into this, but reflecting on these experiences and my choices in Skyrim are giving my attachment to the game a deeper meaning. And I don't know, and I think it's affecting me in a positive way, and clearly I can't fucking stop playing the game, so maybe I just have a problem.
I'll stop playing when I want to stop playing. Come here, you son of a bitch.
What are you doing that for?
Who knows? I apologize if this was kind of like a misguided, really all over the place video. I think people spend so much time kind of fabricating this world within a game that they can't live in reality, but what happens when the choices you make in a game start to affect how you live in the real world for the better. That's all I had. That was on my mind this week, and I just thought I'd throw it up on here. Anyways, I'm not far in this book. I'm only a fraction into it since I started it last night. However, I'm mad at myself that it took me so long to get to it, and I hope, and maybe I think I'm gonna consider doing kind of a review on it come the future. Let me know what you guys think. You're all great. Have a wonderful day, weekend, week, whatever it is you think you'll be having. I'll see you guys next Friday at 8 a.m. As always, I'm Kurt. Goodbye.